Welcome to Your 1%, the chat show on voicesandviews.com. What does doing your 1% really mean? It means that you light up the way for others who are in the dark. The chairman of Eureka Forbes, Shapoor Mistry, became a friend for life when he set up this unique call center where all the employees are physically disabled. The EuroAble Call Centre in Chembur, Mumbai is a triumphant initiative and an acknowledgement of the abilities of all these employees. Team V&V visited the National Association for Equal Opportunities for the Handicapped, or NASEOH, and spoke to some of the employees. Our guest today is Vinath Hegde, the enthusiastic head, Customer Response Management, Eureka Forbes. Thank you, Vinath, for being here with us today.
Thank you very much.
Vinath, tell me, how did this idea of having a call center for the disabled, how did it begin? Whose brainchild was it?
The entire brainchild has been of our chairman, Shapoor Mistry, and along with him, our executive vice chairman and managing director, Mr. Trilochan Alagh. 8 months back, they said we need to do something for the physically challenged. But prior to 8 months, in the same premise on the second floor, we already have a service setup where the entire servicing of certain machines are being done by the physically challenged people. Here they are deaf and dumb. So having done this, he said, why not go ahead and do something more? And where does a person with physically challenged, someone who's qualified also, where does he go for work? Because a lot of organizations are not giving them jobs. And that is how they said that let's start with something like a small pilot project where you need to call up customers and welcome customers, which normally my customer relation people do. We said let's do that. So we had about 6 seaters sitting here. We trained them up for about a month, having a customer database so that when a customer buys a product, call the customer, wish them, tell them welcome to the Eureka Forbes family and find out information. After doing that, after about 3 months, we called back the customer and found out whether the customer found any difference. Whether it's a normal person, they said no, we didn't realize that. We said if that's happening, then why not cater to much larger segment? And that is how we thought that, okay, let's start a call center. The idea started by saying that let's do only for outbound. We said why only outbound, why not inbound? Because today we're already working with a third party. Why not have our own? And that is how we said, okay, we'll do our own call center. And we're giving jobs for people, opportunities for people, and the best opportunity is a call center than anything else. A normal working environment, they would have problem. And when you're having 100% physically challenged people who are going to man this, there's going to be competition within them, not within anyone else. We also have a dream in the entire thing, saying that the leaders here will be grouped by them, trainers will be by them, everyone would be their own type of people. So when we start off, we will be saying that we're going to have everyone from this segment itself and no one from others.
Eureka Forbes has associated with NASEOH in this project. What is NASEOH's role?
NASEOH is basically a vocational guidance institute for the physically challenged people. Now, what they are doing over here, their role is the place belongs to them, the entire premise belongs to them. Secondly, the recruitment placement is done by NASEOH for Eureka Forbes. So we have manpower coming from them. So they basically have people coming across to their location who come for certain vocational guidance program, do different type of courses like computer training, communication, and they help them in placement. So this is like a placement set which they help us in giving people.
What did you look for in these employees? Basic education, experience, language skills?
Typically when you look at a call center environment, what you look from them is someone who's at least completed the 10th standard, that's about 17 to 18 years old child. So we said that we will look as per the industry standard, and that is how we started looking at them. Someone who's completed an SSC, and then we said someone who can communicate with confidence. And that is how we started recruiting the entire batch of people. But when we actually recruited people, we didn't get people at that part. Someone with confidence level, because they lacked confidence. They lacked speaking in English. They lacked communicating. Communication was something which they completely lacked. even if you had to speak to them during interviews, they never looked into your eyes. They shied out, they walked away. But then we said, this is a challenge and we need to take this further. And that is how we have taken the entire team of batch of people.
Yeah, we received first English speaking and how to talk to the customer, personality development. And soft skills, that's skills.
Do you have to learn a lot about the products?
Yes, product training also.
Yes. So what are the products that you are handling now?
Yes, we handle water purifiers, vacuum cleaners, security systems. Nice. AquaGuard, AquaSure, these are brand names and in markets.
In the market.
Yes.
The first batch went through training for 3 months period of time. We started the training by building confidence. We said we need to get them into the confidence building level. Mainly is at least look into our customers, look into someone's eyes and talk, rather than shying out and running away from them. Then we got into them into doing an English speaking program, where we literally brought them grammar books, so that they understood what sentence meant, where noun and pronoun and verb were put, and they could start communicating. From there onwards, once they were grouped in the entire thing, then we went into voice modulation, listening skills, product knowledge, and everything that is related for their work is what we took them through.
The trainers have trained marvelously over here. They are fantastic. Yeah. They are cooperative.
In that we have a trainer, Mr. Anthony and Mr. Hemal sir. They have trained us how to handle the call, which are the point is so important in the call, and we have the also quality parameter.
Yeah.
Mr. Chandra sir is a quality parameter sir, and he's informed that these are the parameters important. According to that, you have to explain that.
When you planned the center, did you take in or consider some of the special needs of these employees? Like the height of the chair, more space for the wheelchairs to move in, the proximity of the washroom. Did these things also occur in your planning?
If you see the call center, it's 5,000 square feet area. A normal call center would have had about 300 seats. We have about 89 seats. We said that they need more space because there are people with wheelchair, people with clutches who walk. So when they walk with clutches, and they sit, they need to push the chair. So we looked into those seats. The heights. Plus, if you even notice the CPU, the way they put all the buttons and all that, it is given to them at an accessibility level. So we looked into the entire thing, and that is how we worked on. We also said we need to have footrest for them, because sitting for them is a problem.
Yeah. And
normal people like us can sit, but there is a footrest just below each seat of theirs. So we looked into all that, and that's how we designed the entire place. And more than anything, they themselves have looked into the entire place and they said, this is the way we want it. Like typically something like a place like not having a tile, we put carpets around the place. And they were the ones who suggested to us that let's have carpet, not tile. Because the tile would slip and they may fall. And they said that's how we looked at it. For us to have a NASEOH, because his infrastructure was there.
Yes.
For the wheelchair, you need a ramp to drive down on a wheelchair. So we have that ramp over here. Plus, the washroom area is again got a lot more space for people on wheelchair. A different washroom only for the wheelchair people, and it's a larger space for their movement.
Most of these employees, they are not in need of an escort or a helper. They are all independent, completely.
Some of them need, but if you really look at them, today they've groomed themselves so well. They said we don't need anyone's support. We want to be on our own. Like a person on a wheelchair, he will move his wheelchair on his own, and they will never take support from any able person. If they need support, they will take it from their own colleagues. But today, I think the confidence is so much that I can stand on my own foot and I can walk my pathway, and that is how they've been driving themselves.
And how do you commute from home to work to the workplace?
Okay, we have a transportation facility for them, for a pick and drop for every batch.
Okay,
that
that's
is how.
Wonderful.
That's you need to have it, especially during the rains or picking up, because in a call center they need to come at a particular time. We work on 3 shifts, so for 8 o'clock batch, they have to be on the seat at 8 o'clock. They cannot come at 8:10. So it starts at the dot of 8. So that's the reason we have this pick and drop, and it becomes convenient for all of them.
How do they manage with angry customers?
With a smile on their face. That's the best thing.
The smile has to be in the voice.
It's there. That's how. With a smile on their face, hits onto the voice, and that's how they do it. And I think at the end of the day, they say, even we are customers, so we know what happens. So the irate is always killed in such a way that fine. I mean, he is angry today, even I would have been angry if I were a customer, so I need to service him. And they all believe in giving customer delight. And for them it doesn't matter that they are physically challenged. They say, we are like any one of you. End of the day, it's a customer who's calling us up. So it's a smile which reflects on your voice.
Actually, the complaints are all about the product.
It's all
and
product,
not about the person.
Not about the person. And they actually say that. They're not firing me, they're firing Eureka Forbes. So that's the way you look at the...
That's right.
जी, इस नंबर पे आप कॉल कीजिए, आपकी पूरी तरह सहायता होगी। जी, यूरेका फोर्ब्स कस्टमर कॉन्फिडेंस सेंटर में कॉल करने के लिए धन्यवाद आपका दिन।
I mean, are there work conditions on par, like salaries and are they on par with?
Yes, they are very much on par with the industry standard. We are actually much better than the industry standards also. Because there are certain rules and basic rules which we need to follow through the government. So they are much better than even the normal industry standards.
We have heard call center jokes and we've also heard about the horror stories about call centers. How lenient are you in these matters?
I'm not lenient with them. Because end of the day, I think it's business call. It's a business call. I mean, here you've given them, trained them up. During working hours, we work like any normal person. Yes, when there is a relaxation time, everything is there. In the relaxation time, we have fun, we sit back, all sit, we have a cafeteria, we all sit together, have lunch with them. But during working hours, they follow the same system. They follow the same structure what a person in the head office of Eureka Forbes will follow. If you see everyone there, all the men are with the tie of Eureka Forbes. So, and they call themselves as Eurochan. So it's the same situation, same structure has been followed. There's nothing different.
Vinath, you've always worked, you've been with Eureka Forbes, but it's the first time you're working with differently abled employees. What was that experience like for you?
Okay, it went back in the month of November, where my managing director, Mr. Suresh Goklani, called me and said, we need to set up something like this. What do you think about it? At one point of time, there was a fright. Because all this while I've been working along with a third-party call center where we were pulling their socks and it said, how do I get the entire thing done up? One is differently able, didn't know what criteria of people they came from or different segments that they've come from, start-off family that they've come from. It was a challenge. He said, take it up and go ahead. And a challenge which the first month was very frightful because every time that you tried training them up, they went back home. And the next day they came back without learning anything. And there was a deadline that April 1st I had to go live. I think somewhere down the line they themselves realized the company is taking them into the job, and a company like Eureka Forbes, because they watched TV and they were very happy to go back home and tell people that this is a company I'm going to be working. So each one were given challenge and we said, okay, you're going to be writing in a book your dreams, your goals. If you're willing to work, go ahead and do it. Others don't come for this class. And they did that and they came back. Today when I see them, I see an entirely different type of people what I see in them in the month of January. Someone who was shabbily dressed, didn't know how to wear a proper shirt or even didn't know how to comb his hair, today comes very professionally standing there and even speaks with what a voice, which even a customer doesn't realize at the end of the day that these are differently able people. It's a feeling which I can never think of. I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream, I think, which can never be forgotten. And today, if you really look at it, today we're talking about, we have about 70 people already working here. By end of December, we need to have 150 working. Our plan is also that not to have only in Bombay, similar call center to be started off even in South. And that is the dream of Mr. Shapoor. He wants us to start even in South.
Really wonderful.
That's the way.
मैं जैसे कि बताना चाहूँगी यूरेका फोर्ब्स ने हमें जो इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है तो हम इसके लिए बहुत थैंक्सफुल है यूरेका फोर्ब्स के जो इन्होंने हमारे डिसेबल पीपल के लिए सोचा, कुछ अलग करने का सोचा। जैसे कि ज़्यादातर हमारे बारे में कोई इतना सोचता नहीं है, तो उन्होंने इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी हमें दी है। इसके लिए मैं तहे दिल से इनका थैंक्सफुल हूँ और मैं चाहूँगी कि आगे भी जैसे कि दुनिया में इसके बारे में और सब जन सोचे आगे। और जैसे कि यूरेका फोर्ब्स ने एक्टिविटी की है हमारे लिए, तो और भी सारी जो कंपनियां हैं वर्ल्ड में, तो वो भी हमारे बारे में सोचे और कुछ करें।
leader was saying that you can be a good trainer.
Right.
So let's see.
Okay.
This is our physical abnormality, is our part of our life, and we are living with it. So I don't think so that we should deny to ourselves that we are physically, like, of course we are mentally absolutely fit, but physically everybody has got some or the other problems, some or the other diseases and everything, and this is our the basic fact of our life, which we are living it, and we are running with the entire world. That's what I feel.
Next time you call to complain about your vacuum cleaner, remember there is a face behind the voice which says, "May I help you, sir?" If only more corporates open their hearts and create more opportunities for the physically disabled, imagine the miracles that can happen. It's goodbye for now, till we meet again next week with a new guest.